Good afternoon and welcome to Golden Black Live. Kyle Charters along with Stacy Clarity and our special guest today, Cortney Moses of the women's basketball team. The Boilermakers getting set for the NCAA tournament. Selection Monday coming up in just a couple of days, and the Boilermakers will be in action then a week from tomorrow in their first NCAA tournament game. Opponent to be determined on Monday night. Cortney, you looking forward to seeing who you're going to be playing?
Yeah, Monday's like waiting for Christmas for this time of year, so we're definitely really excited. We practiced Monday through Thursday this week, and now we have a little bit of time off, and then we'll find out on Monday.
A couple of notes on how the show works. If you have any questions for us or for Cortney, you can do so on the webpage there, either in the chat or by emailing them into us. So we will take those. We'll have Cortney on for the first 20 minutes here, and then we'll talk some men's basketball after the loss yesterday in the Big Ten tournament, some spring football, and some recruiting as well through those final 40 minutes. A thanks to our sponsors, Hilton Garden Inn. When tomorrow is a big day, stay at HGI tonight. Basham Reynolds. Purdue students find your home away from home with Basham Reynolds, trusted for 3 generations to provide quality student housing. Triple X Family Restaurants on the Hill but on the level, a Purdue tradition since 1929. And State Farm agent Trent Johnson. You can contact him at trentismyagent.com. All right, so senior year coming down to the end here for you, right? What do you think about that?
It's pretty surreal. It's bittersweet. I actually finished classes at the end of January, so I've had a month without any class, just been basketball, but earlier this week I ordered my cap and gown, and I was like, I ordered my cap and gown, so that was pretty crazy.
Now did you just have one class last semester?
Last semester I had 12 credit hours, so I had, full load.
So was it this? You had an online class this semester, but you finished it already?
Yeah. Yeah.
That was pretty rough, huh?
It was art appreciation, and I really appreciated it.
Did you? There you go.
Why didn't I get a class schedule like that? I guess I didn't do it right or something.
Yeah.
Is it just because you had Maymester, so you just kind of overloaded, or what?
Yeah, and then I came in from high school with 9 credits, and then we came in for the summer, and I got 6 more, so I started fall freshman year with 15 credits already done. So a semester ahead.
Jeez, everybody else is slackers.
Already people chiming in about how big a heart you have on our bunch of your friends and family must be on our message.
Yeah, because that's the only people who think that.
Yeah. Travis Garrity says hi.
Hello, Travis.
Do you know him, maybe?
I do know Travis.
Someone else says, just wanted to say, SEMO has a huge heart. Good luck in your future endeavors and continue doing the great things you do. And Travis is, I think, agreeing, yes, she does have a big heart and a big smile. You did win or were awarded with the Good Works team earlier this year, sort of, in recognition of all the community work that you've done. What has sort of made that part of your life?
I would say it stems back to my family, the way my parents raised me, the community I grew up in, all my family, and then just it stems down to my faith as well. So I think family, faith, those two together kind of stemmed it all.
Before the season, when we sat down and talked to you, mentioned your legacy, and it was one of those things where you didn't want it to be basketball. But about the basketball stuff, you said you wanted to leave as one of the best shooters ever at Purdue. Are you?
I guess that's for others to
Because I know you love talking about that.
I don't like talking about
I know, that's why I figured I'd put you on the spot,
There's a lot of great shooters at Purdue, and I don't think that I'm the top one yet.
How would you grade that then? Because will you have to pass Katie for like all-time 3-pointers, and then can we say you are?
Whatever you want to say. I don't really know.
How many do you need?
3.
3.
3?
It's 3, right?
3.
Yeah, 3.
Yep,
Would you have
3.
known that? I should have let you try and answer.
No, she wouldn't have.
So your team has played very well this season. I think 21 victories, right? And the last 7 games you played without KK Hauser, who tore ACL against Michigan State there in early February. Well, you've gone 6-1 in that stretch. Why? Why have you guys been so good without who at the time was your leading scorer?
I think it just stems down to heart and stems down to the practices. The practice after KK went down, the energy was very, very high, and we regrouped as a team. And even though KK was on the court with us, she was at every practice, practicing with us. She was crazy having her 20 ACLs out there. And so it was bringing that energy, and everybody really rallied around. And whenever you're playing for something bigger than yourself, you're going to get results, and so I think that was what kind of carried us through.
I thought you described it well when somebody asked you a week or two ago which team was better, which I think is a hard thing to try and figure out, because I think it's hard to argue that you're better without one of your best players, obviously. But
Yeah.
I thought your answer was good. You said the dynamic is just different with the two teams. Explain that a little bit. Why, how are you guys different now as a team without her?
When you have somebody such as KK go down, who's a huge scorer, huge energy, huge talker for us, that creates opportunities for others to step up. So, is there anything in life, if somebody goes down, this creates opportunity. So I think that was the biggest. It just, people really had to look themselves in the mirror and respond.
You talked about playing for a bigger purpose, which I think with your faith is one thing, but separately, kind of all the adversity this team has faced. I don't mean to laugh about it, but I mean, geez, don't you just, there's nothing you can do about it, but it seems like something, one after another, after another, after another. I mean, how do you guys continue to handle that?
I feel like every year something's happened, but we have Coach V and all of our assistant coaches take really good care of us when we go through those trials and keeping the team together, making sure we're meeting as a team. She brought in our chaplain, Marty Dittmar, to talk to us and kind of, when we dealt with Lisa's fiance being killed, and then when KK went down, just to kind of explain and just kind of give some hope to us. And so I think just the people you're surrounded by has helped us to get through it.
Your buddy Travis wants to know how practices are going so far before the NCAA tournament.
They're going really good this week. When you aren't used to practicing during this week, usually we're used to winning and getting a few days off, so it was different. But we incorporated some different things. We scrimmaged on Tuesday. We did Pilates one day. Yesterday we went to the pool and did water basketball polo. And one day we had lots of competitions of shooting. And we got, if you won or your team won, you got to go get some little snacks out of the bag.
Yeah.
So
Do you
it's
eat
kept
snacks?
it fun.
Do you eat snacks?
I'll eat snacks.
Really? What's a snack? 2 carrots?
No. Well, sometimes. At this time of the year, he's got to eat whatever you can eat to keep your body fueled, so.
So bad things?
Yes, bad things.
Really?
I've been eating bad things, like ice
Wow.
cream. A lot of ice cream lately.
Really?
A lot of ice cream after the loss.
A lot of ice cream since Friday.
Yeah, obviously Purdue losing a little bit earlier than usual in the Big Ten tournament on Friday against Iowa. Certainly not a bad loss. Iowa's pretty good. They were ranked and had an RPI, I think, in the top 30. A team that's going to get a pretty high seed too in the tournament. But you did leave earlier in that tournament than what you expect. Was it a little bit of a long weekend there, having to set? Did you watch any of the other games? What did you do?
I did watch some of the other games. I went home, and so I was in the suites there with my family and watched some of them. And I didn't watch the games on Sunday, but I ate a lot of food, and ate a lot more food, and just really was surrounded with my loved ones and hanging out.
You said you wanted to stuff your face in chocolate cake after the loss.
I
You didn't,
I
I
didn't.
assume.
Instead, it was ice cream.
There you go.
And the only reason we're making fun of you for that is because you're one of the most fit, strict diet people out there. So when we in South Africa on a mission trip this summer or last year, you didn't eat any of the bad stuff.
Nope. It's all about self-discipline, and
It's pretty impressive.
yes.
One thing that's important too, not just the diet and kind of the work, but we've heard how kind of crazy gym rat person you are, but it was important to get rest too, right? I mean, going into this year and the plan for this year, how much did it help what you did in the off season to really kind of spur the kind of season that you had this year, first team All Big Ten?
I have a really hard time sitting still, and so after a season ends, my parents, even when I was younger, in high school, they'd be like, you need to take a little bit of time off. I'd be like, oh, I'm ready to get back. Let's start going. So finally, they always say that things your parents say, once you get older, you kind of realize they were right. So the older I've gotten, the more I've realized that, you got to take some time off, especially when you're getting older and you put wear and tear on your body. So this past summer, took a lot of time off. It took a month to a month and a half of doing not too much. So.
We're getting a lot of craziness on the chat here a little bit, I think, from some people who want to know if you can teach the men's basketball team to shoot free throws. More of a dig, I think, of the men's team. But you shoot free throws pretty well.
Yeah. They all started back in Sweetser in the driveway.
Yeah.
And to the men, there's a lot of the men's players who go in and they shoot extra. When they're shooting, a lot of them are in there shooting free throws. I remember the game that went to 3 overtimes against Minnesota, maybe.
Yeah.
When Tyrone Johnson missed a couple free throws. The very next day, he was in there shooting. So they work hard at it.
Yeah. So do you, right? I remember, you've talked before about, writing up your note cards way back when and making your workouts in Sweetser and your parents having to call you back inside late at night to come back in. You put a lot of work in over the years to become the player that you are, right?
Yeah, it's something I enjoy. I enjoy working out, and so making up those workouts was always fun. And it took some sacrifice. A lot of times friends would be going, hanging out, and going to the movies or something. I'm like, I'm not going to go. But I enjoyed it, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Just in that studying, and I'm sure you watch film as well, so I would expect whoever you play in the first round of the NCAA tournament is going to want to try to throw one of those junk defenses that you've seen them this year. How can you beat it? I mean, what do you need to do? What does Purdue need to do to be able to have that not slow you down?
I think we've done a good job whenever other teams have thrown those defenses at us. Other people have stepped up, and like at Michigan, I was doing nothing. They had somebody guarding, I was standing in the corner, so it was better for me to be on the bench, and we came back from down 15, 16, whatever it was, and won that game. So whatever another team throws at us, they have to guard everybody on the court, not just one person.
You were
gotta be
sick that
frustrating,
game
though.
too, though,
I was a little sick, but
You were a lot sick, weren't
a
you?
lot sick.
You won't say that, but you were.
Begrudgingly.
I was, but yeah.
It's got to be frustrating, though, right, when a team gears to slow you down? I guess you've been used to it probably your whole career.
Yeah, you just have to take it as a compliment and encourage everybody else on the team to step up, though, in those situations. So
You've done better, though, this year, it seems like, in handling that kind of thing a little bit and trying to do other things maybe to help the team, right?
Yeah.
Is that a fair statement, you think?
Yeah, it's a fair statement. I remember when I used to do it to Brittany Rayburn, and I was able to learn from her a lot, playing underneath her, and so just carrying that leadership that she showed.
Our friend Carrie down the hall there wants you to talk about Boilermaker Wish, which you've been involved in a lot. A program that helps out some kids who would like their wish granted, I guess, when in regards to Boilermaker sports.
Yep. So Boilermaker Wish we started talking about it last spring, and then this summer we had our first wish. I think it was June 16th, and it was with DJ Bird. So pretty much what it is, it's kind of like Make-A-Wish, but a kid can make a wish, and I can do anything with Purdue athletics, whether they want to go to a practice, meet a player, be a coach, like whatever they want, go to a game. And then there's a group of us that work together to get like tickets or to set up when they can come to a practice and make those wishes come true. And we've had 5 wishes granted so far, and it's been really, really fun. And right now we're working, and we just had 3 new ones come in, so
Yeah.
we're working on getting those together.
And one of those was Carrie's daughter, Peyton,
Peyton, yep.
who I know you've been close with here over the last couple of months.
Yeah, that was such a joy. Peyton was a ball of fire when she came. She was out there shooting baskets and running around, and she was definitely one of my favorite Boilermaker wishes we've had.
Yeah. So what's next? Do you want to keep doing basketball and keep helping people? I would imagine you're going to
Yeah.
mix those two things together.
Yeah,
Somehow.
trying to figure that all out. So just going one day at a time, going with the flow. I know where I'll be at until May, and then after that, I have no idea what's going on. So
Yeah.
just living on faith and just taking it one day at a time.
Just kind of looking back through your career, do you have, and I know it's not over yet, and you're hoping to, get past and get back to the Sweet 16, but best games or favorite games, anything like that? I mean, do you look at that as your individual efforts or more kind of Big Ten tournament championship kind of a thing?
Look at it more as the team, fun games. I remember, I think it was 2 of the games we had at home against IU. I think they were both pink games, and we just put on a show as a team, and so those are fun. The Big Ten tournament games are fun. The game at Conseco or Banker's Life when Dre came back in after
yeah.
bacterial meningitis and nobody knew it, and standing ovation. Playing over in Europe was really fun. Playing whenever you go on the Thanksgiving tournaments. So, and then the game against Iowa stands out when we came back in the second half.
My guest wants to know, does it ever get chippy on the court? The answer to that is yes, I think. And who is, I don't know, you're not going to answer either one of these probably, but who is the biggest talker in the Big Ten?
The biggest talker in the Big Ten. It does get chippy on the court at times. It makes it entertaining.
Yeah.
It makes it fun, competitive. The biggest talker, I don't know if I can think of one right off the top of my head.
Does Maggie Lucas talk? Does she talk or does she
No,
just play?
she just plays and
Yeah.
yeah, she doesn't say. It used to be though when Alex Bentley played for Penn State, she would
Yeah.
be.
Oh, yeah.
I played against her in high school, so she talked a lot.
Anything she said in particular that you want to share? Or?
No, she would just always fade away and be like, "Gotcha," or even if she missed it. It's like every time, so she would just talk whenever she was doing something.
Yeah.
But I can't really think of. There's not one that like stands out as.
I mean, you've had some good rivalries over the years with teams that, Penn State, obviously. Nebraska, the games against Nebraska have been outstanding. And, Michigan State, I think, falls in there too. Do you remember those games more a little bit? The Nebraska series has been pretty unbelievable.
The overtimes and
Yeah.
more overtime.
Yeah.
So-
And then even this last game with how you guys,
Yeah.
played against them on senior day.
Yeah, Nebraska series, our Penn State series, and like whenever we
Yeah.
play Michigan State or IU, those have always been definitely battles and a lot of great memories from them.
Yeah. So 3 straight exits while you've been here from the second round of the NCAA tournament. How big a goal is it to get back to the Sweet 16 and then, see where you guys can get from there?
It's something we talked about at the very beginning of the season. That was one of our goals, and now we're at that point where we can start working on it. And it's just got to take it one day at a time and have fun. And it's great that we host the first 2 rounds. We did that 2 years ago, and we lost to South Carolina. So being able to play at home is definitely going to be huge.
What are going to be the keys? I mean, do you think it depends on the opponent, or is it more what you guys can do and what you can do well?
I think just taking care of ourselves and making sure that we're staying hungry. Because at this point in the season, it's all about who has the most heart is going to win the game. And all the teams that are getting in, there's, I don't know, is it 64 teams that get in the tournament or whatever it is? So I don't even know.
They keep changing.
Yeah, they change it up. So all those teams, I mean, they're getting in for a reason. There's lots of teams who usually get in that aren't getting in, so it's a privilege to get in, so you have to bring your best game in. It doesn't matter what seed you are, you have to have heart and play hard.
All right, we're going to talk to you about personal things. Now, we can't zoom in with the camera, but you are wearing your ring
I am.
today, which I don't see very often because you're usually getting ready for practice. But you are engaged. You'll get married, in a little more than a year?
Yep, a little over a year.
Yeah. To Jordan Delks, who you met here at Purdue.
Yep, my sophomore year.
You can take over from here. I'm not going to tell your whole story.
So we met my sophomore year. I was a greeter at FCA in the Kissel Center, which is like right where Ross 8 is, and he walked in. I was greeting, and we just kind of talked, and then he was a manager for the guys team that year, and so I'd see him around Mackey. We talked like he'd be in shooting Mackey. I'd go and talk, and so a friendship developed, and then we had a class together. Ironically, the next semester, the spring semester, and then we went on a date on April 20th, and then started hanging out during the summer. We would go frog gigging a lot. So anybody doesn't know what frog gigging is? It's you have this you go at night and you shine a flashlight and you're in a boat and you try to spear frogs. So
You kill them?
well, you're like, and then you make frog legs out of it. And so we would
Okay.
go do like country stuff. So we're a bunch of country kids.
Country
We would
stuff.
play basketball, and from there,
These all
the
sound like
rest is
Sweetser
history.
things.
They're Sweetser country, so he's pretty much like boy version of me, and we're like twins. So,
There you go.
but
And
that's pretty much.
you're hoping then that if you play overseas that he can come, right? Is
Yeah.
that kind of the plan?
If it's an ideal situation and he'd be able to get an apartment like close to wherever my place was, then that's what we're gonna try to do. So, just kind of playing it day by day, like I said, 'cause we don't really know what's going on. But that's the plan. He was a coach up at Judson, and he told his coach that he's not going to be returning next year, and so he's kind of waiting on faith.
So I was going to ask this question too. So it's a good one from our guest here. Wants to know what number you're going to wear next Saturday for the game.
I will be wearing number 15
Okay.
for the tournament.
Great. Well, if people don't know, you wore KK's number for 5.
5.
Plus, did you wear it? I can't remember what you wore in the Big Ten tournament. You wore 15.
I wore 15 because KK was dressed
Yeah.
during the tournament.
So you wore 5. You wore 22, her number, for 5 games, just to sort of to honor your fallen teammate there.
Yep.
What sort of went into that decision to do that?
So after the game, it was one of the most emotional locker rooms I've ever been in my whole entire career. And there was a moment where it was all the seniors and coach and KK, and there in those situations, there's not much you can say to change it or do. So, thinking of a little gesture I could do, and so I asked Coach, "Hey, could I wear KK's number the rest of the season?" And she's like, "Yeah, like we'll just have to check with NCAA, make sure it's okay." And she goes, "Well, you need to ask KK." And so I asked KK in the locker room at Michigan State, and she said absolutely. And so we went through and got that figured out with the NCAA, and it was okay for that to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were up 20 minutes.
We're up. Yeah, we are up. But do you have any closing thoughts as we
That was
wrap?
quick. Time flies when you're having fun.
You know,
We told you it would be painless.
I got something for you as we wrap up. You wouldn't give in to the best shooter. I think
That's what I
you're-
mean. How
you're
much fun
one
do they
of,
have with
in
you
my
when you
opinion,
don't talk about it?
you're one of the best transition players Purdue's ever had, in my opinion. What do you think? I think you are. You're good, and you're not going to say anything.
No,
I like to run.
You like to run.
I like to run.
You're good in transition. Aren't you agree? Yes.
I like to run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is fun style to play. And, you know, I was thinking about this today. We'll try and wrap up here soon. The officiating in women's basketball has changed, obviously, this
Yeah.
year. In my opinion, it has not changed as much as what they intended in men's
Mm-hmm.
basketball. And you see some of the final scores they had down at the Big Ten tournament this weekend. But do you like how it's changed? The scoring is up pretty dramatically. I think the games in the Big Ten tournament last weekend were, you know, competitive and high scoring and fun to watch. Did you sort of like being able to play this style in your last year?
Yeah, I went to last weekend when we lost. I went to a little cousin's sectional championship game, and the physicality of the high school game was kind of like it used to be in college. I was like, is that not a foul? Because it's so different. So
Yeah.
I was really able to see the difference of how the game's been called, and I do think that it's opened up a lot more scoring opportunities and gave a lot more advantage to the offense.
Yeah. All right, we're going to wrap. Thanks for coming on. Good
We're
luck.
gonna wrap. Are you starting off? Need a beat?
No. That was
I'm just
clever.
I'm just kidding.
Let's do that when the camera's off.
Okay.
Be much better. We don't want to lose the entire audience. Well, thanks for joining us. Best of luck during the NCAA tournament. We'll be there watching for sure, and we'll see if you can get back to the Sweet 16. I know that's a huge goal for this
Yeah.
team and beyond, and it would be a nice way to end your career, certainly.
Well, thank you guys for having me on.
All right, that'll do it for us for now. We'll be back here in just a second with Alan Karpick and Brian Newbert. They will talk a little men's hoops and recruiting as well. You're watching Gold and Black Live.